Hey, what's going on, YouTube? Hope you guys are doing well today. I hope you guys all had an amazing 4th of July. For the 4th, I didn't do too much. I went on a hike with a buddy, got some good Korean barbecue, and played some golf. So I didn't do too much, but I hope you guys had an awesome time with your friends and family. And if you love the outdoors, I would highly recommend visiting Washington because it is, an outdoors person's paradise out here. There's just so much to do and it's so scenic and beautiful. And once again, hey, I want to shout out all my subscribers out there. Thank you guys so much for all the love and support that you guys always show me. And if you guys haven't subscribed, I would go ahead and hit that subscribe button because I got a lot of awesome content coming out. All right, guys, so let's get into today's video. So before I begin, I want to first start off and say that every single day, it seems like we are just bombarded with information from the media, from social media. I mean, it is just nonstop. And you have to understand that the information presented to us at all these different angles by all these different sources, it has an agenda. And it's up to you to, think in the second derivative and gather data from different areas and seek the truth. Use professional skepticism. You can't always believe what you hear. So, for example, consumer price index or consumer price inflation, the CPI, is currently at 2.4%. And the government also claims that core inflation is at 2.8%. That excludes, energy and food prices. But if you look around, is that really the case? What do you guys think? Why, did my car insurance just from a couple years ago, my current car insurance was $120. And now I'm paying around $175, and I've had no accidents or tickets in the last 10 years. Why are rent prices going up? And is it only by the small percentages that the government reports it at? And I'm the type of guy that I kind of eat the same thing every single day. So I buy a lot of ground beef, and I used to pay $5 per pound, but now I'm paying close to $7 per pound. Do you guys think that the numbers being reported, those are honest numbers? And I will never forget when I was at the Federal Reserve Bank during the Great Recession. The Federal Reserve Chairman Ben Bernanke, when he addressed the American people, he looked into the camera and told the United States and everybody watching that the subprime mortgage crisis was contained and there was nothing else to worry about. And what happened months later? Him and Secretary Treasury Hank Paulson, they were at Congress and addressed the Senate that the banks needed to be bailed out or the financial system was about to collapse. So just last week, the Bureau of Labor Statistics released their non-farm payroll figures for the month of June, and the data shows that the economy added 147,000 jobs. The numbers came in great, and it was much more than expected. And of course, the government and the current administration is claiming the economy and the labor market is stronger than ever. We have the best economy, and our economy is so resilient. But is that really the case? I mean, in my opinion, the job market is doing absolutely terrible right now, and people are having such a hard time finding a job. And there's another company called ADP, Automatic Data Processing. A lot of companies use their payroll software, and they came out and said that the economy actually lost 33,000 jobs, the first time ever since March of 2023. And if you also look at the initial jobless claims, so the Labor Department releases the number of people filing for unemployment every week. So the week ending June 28th, they came out and said that 233,000 people filed for unemployment benefits that week. And the week before was another 230,000. But I do want to add that so the ADP figures that were given doesn't take into account the government jobs that were added, and it does have a smaller sample size. So according to the non-farm payrolls, the government is actually doing a lot of hiring right now. I believe they added around 70,000 jobs. Healthcare added around 30 to 40,000 jobs. So if you guys are looking for a job, maybe the government, state and local, is the way to go right now, because those seem to be the only places that that's hiring. And if you look around, if the economy is doing so great and the labor market is doing so wonderful, why are companies still doing mass layoffs? So Microsoft, we all know, Microsoft is one of the biggest, most profitable companies in the world right now. They announced that they're going to lay off 6,000 just a couple months ago. And just, last week, I think it was, they announced another 9,000 layoffs, guys. So what in the world is going on over there at Microsoft? I believe that a lot of jobs are going to be streamlined. They're going to implement a lot of AI, and they're also, as you guys know, Microsoft has a lot of clients, and they're also actually helping their clients automate a lot of their processes. And, they're selling those companies various Microsoft AI tools as well to, duplicate, reduce redundancies, make a lot of their processes a lot more efficient. And if you guys work at these companies, that's terrifying. Also, UPS came out, not too long ago and said that they're going to offer buyouts for a lot of their drivers, and they're going to eliminate 20,000 positions worldwide and close 73 warehouses / stores. Bumble, the popular dating application, just came out and said that they're going to reduce their headcount by 30%. Intel came out last month and said that they're going to lay off 10,000 employees, and they also noted that that they're going to start outsourcing all their non-critical function roles, such as marketing, finance, HR. So not only is are companies looking towards AI to cut costs, a lot of companies are going overseas. They're outsourcing a lot of their positions, and that is just, that just makes me so mad, because it's the employees that made Microsoft such a great company and what it is today. It's the employees that always get the short end of the stick, it seems like, at this time right now. And if you look at the first quarter of Microsoft, they made $25.8 billion the first quarter. What that means is from January through the end of March, they made almost $26 billion. And if you take that figure and you forecast it during that in a year, they should make approximately a little over $100 billion in revenue. And I just don't understand why, a company like Microsoft that makes so much money like that, they can't spend a little extra to keep those employees that they're, that they're about to cut. Once again, it's the employees that made, Microsoft the company it is today. And it just shows you that, there's no more loyalty. You could have worked at a company and help a company grow and become a great, recognized international company. But companies are putting profits over their own people. And that is just so sad. It just breaks my heart that they'll do that to their own employees. And next, guys, I wanted to read you guys. Oh man, this just makes my blood boil. It's a tweet by a guy named Warren Gunnels. He's a staff director and works for Senator Bernie Sanders, and he talks about Dollar Tree. This was a few years ago, but think that it's still pretty relevant today. So Dollar Tree made $1.23 billion in profits this year, and it gave its CEO $10.7 million and pays workers as little as $8.32 an hour. Over 7,400 Dollar Tree employees are forced to rely on food stamps and Medicaid subsidized by the U.S. taxpayer. How ridiculous is that, guys? And he goes on and says, unfettered greed is corporate America closing U.S. factories where it pays its workers $30 an hour and opening sweatshops abroad, paying them 30 cents per hour, then hiring workers to sell the sweatshop goods for $8 an hour at its Dollar Tree stores, and then blaming inflation for 25% increases. Guys, I have a lot of smart, people watching my videos. I've talked to some of you guys that are investment bankers, people in finance, education, it's 2025. So like I said, this was a few years earlier. I wonder whose pay has continued to increase, the CEOs or the workers at Dollar Tree. And because of corporate greed and a lot of other things, I just don't think we've seen an end to these layoffs. I believe that in the following months, a lot more companies are going to be doing a lot more layoffs as they continue to implement AI and develop that technology, and then look for cheaper labor in other countries. So I hope you guys, the people that have been affected by these layoffs, I hope you guys don't blame yourselves and don't be too hard on yourselves, because it's not your fault that companies would rather spend billions and billions of dollars buying back their own stock to increase the share price than to take care of the people that helped build their company. So with that, I'm going to end the video there. And I can't imagine what you're going through if you've been laid off. I know it's super hard right now, but don't give up. And I'm going to end the video there, guys. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.